What's up, YouTube? Phoenix CD back again with yet another Black Clover Phantom Knights video. Excuse me for a sec. Alright, so we are going to do Let's Talk number 9, the Jammer tier list. Sorry about yesterday. I meant to upload the Enhancer tier list, but I completely forgot. So, that's going to be up today. Well, it should already be up. It's processing now, so by the time you see this video, it should already be up. So, yeah. Let's see, any news before we start the tier list? The update, well, the maintenance notice is for Wednesday, I believe for both, not Wednesday, sorry, Thursday. Thursday at 4 a.m. is when maintenance will be over for both versions of the game, so plan accordingly. If you still haven't completed Tower, try your best to do so. For Veto, try your best to get as much points as you can. I'll be honest, the last time JP had Veto, it was last year. I don't even think we had the anniversary units yet. Actually, I can check. I'm gonna pause and then go to the last and go to the old website really quickly. So give me 1 second. Are we back? I kind of don't know. Oops, sorry. Okay, sorry for that stream reception. I have hotkeys for pausing and resuming recording, so I just made sure. So we had the Veto Global ranking from September 11th to September 25th. So that was way before. Well, it was just after Archaeasta and Spirit Dive Uno. So we didn't have any of the anniversary units. We didn't have 7 stars, and I really don't remember what I used for this. But you guys know I have a Veto 6-star. I did manage to get in the top 500. So yeah, it was. We really didn't have a lot of units in all honesty before then. So this is the old website. DED is just out of order. We don't use it anymore. This is what it was before I revised the whole website. But yeah, so yeah, Veto's was the 9th for us, so ninth month, September. But yeah, I really don't remember what I used, so I kind of can't help. So good luck to Global with their defense quest and everything. But that's not the topic of today's video. We will do the Jammer tier list as I mentioned before. And yeah, I'm just gonna start out with there's not really a worst one. Once again, just like last time, I really need to update the website. I've just been like overhauled with work right now, so I will fix all of this eventually. I'm also looking for more website members, so I'm making an application soon to try to get more help with both the JP and the global side. So that's pretty much it. So we're gonna start with Lotus, and is this out of order? How did this get so out of order? I opened the tabs in order. Okay. We're gonna slide this one and slide this one over. Sorry about that. I could have sworn they were in the proper order. Okay, so Lotus. Looking at him, just in this day and age, just overall low stats. Will he ever get a 6-star? Well, 6-star buff or 7-star? I wouldn't count on it. The game still doesn't have a 7-star buffer, so I guess it is possible, but I am somewhat more inclined to think a captain would get the first. Yeah, to think a captain would get the first 7-star for a jammer or even Sekirei. So, and attack the one enemy plus removes buffs from that enemy. Let me refresh because that last skill it didn't load. Okay. Transfer status ailments from allies to opponent. Well, from participants to enemies. So, good skill. Lower attack of enemies in range, and attack an enemy, then lower defense and speed. So, buffers are buffers. They just want to disable the. Sorry, not disable, but disrupt the enemy. There you go. That's a better word. They want to disrupt the enemy as much as they can before, you kill them or before they die, whichever one comes first. Overall, he just has low defense, low speed. He has good HP, though. Meh attack, good int. Yeah, that's kind of all. That's all that is to him. He's just kind of average. You know, once again, like I said before, a lot of these tier lists are just because a lot of these units are placed just because the units above them are just better. They do more. They have better stats. This, that, and the other. So now Christmas luck. He was buffed previously. I don't have his post buff version, but after not tower after PvP opened, I believe 3 weeks. I want to say they did have a jammer banner where Zora, Witch Queen, and Christmas luck were all buffed and on that banner. So we are using the buffs from there. Not so these aren't his original stats and skills, but these are kind of like the quote unquote V1 buffs. So nice HP, good attack. We'll just skip that. Good speed, good intelligence. So an attack to all attack all enemies within range, and then medium chance to apply slip damage. So that is pretty good. I forgot what it was before buff, so this is just a really good skill, really solid skill. Then his AOM for a while greatly reduced defense. That's nice. That is irrelevant. Pretty good. An attack to one enemy plus for a short time lower their defense and speed. So similar to Lotus, lowers defense and speed. Not bad at all. An attack to enemies within range and attack to enemies within range. So all holiday units seemingly are going to get buffed. Well, so all holiday units, all quote unquote holiday units, sorry, will seemingly get buffed. So there's nothing to really worry about there. That's probably going to be 4,200. I can see this being 750. I can see this going up to at least probably like 250. That might be 315, or they might not even touch that. And then intelligence, 375 potentially. So stat wise, like in the quote unquote post buff or V2 buff, he would look pretty good. Of course, it would probably add guaranteed chance to apply slip, increase the strength of the defense and speed, keep those the same, potentially even add debuffs. They could do that, but overall, he's okay. But as I said before, in this day in meta, it's not really worth it to run units like these. What you mainly want to run is at least tier 1 and above, just like the show. Now we have Charlotte and Yukita Noelle. So Charlotte, good HP, good attack. Defenses will always be bad for some of these units, but speed, below average speed, and then a solid intelligence. So attack to all enemies within range. Apply slip damage. Let me refresh so you guys see the range of the skill too. Apply slip damage and then lower defense. So that is nice. Jammer wise, that's good. Slip is slip. I've been not really experimenting, but I've been like testing out some stuff in game, and slip is just it's underwhelming on enemies. It's very effective when it's put on you, but excuse me. But when you use it, you don't really get the full effect. So that kind of sucks. AOM, if 2 or more participants, enemy receives a debuff. I forgot if this was a random debuff or not. I do have her, so I could test that, but I'm not sure. In all honesty, I really don't know. I haven't used her outside of a point booster, and even then, she wasn't my AOM lead. So, yeah. Skill 1 and attack to 1 enemy, chance to cause slip. So, Charlottes have this thing where they just do slip. You could tell from Wedding Charlotte, you could tell from, Halloween Charlotte doesn't do it, but you can tell from Wedding Charlotte, you can tell from Tag Charlotte, that her whole thing is slip. So, that's solid. Attack enemies within range, has nice range, and then for a while lowered the defense and speed of enemies within range. So, a lot of the early jammers just lower defense and speed, lowered attack and speed, things of that nature, just because it did matter back in the day. So for PvP, it mattered because you could actually get AOMs off in PvP. Nowadays, you kind of just nuke everything. So this game has made big leaps and strides since then. That's it about her. Noelle. She should get a buff relative. I have to refresh all these pages. Sorry about that. But she should get a buff relatively soon, as well as Yugata Marileona, and that also means that potentially, don't mark my words, that potentially the necklace of fate could be returning. And keep in mind that they do adjust relics. So they adjusted. The only relic I know of that they did adjust is what's her face? Vanessa's scarf. The I think Phantom Scarf, I believe, is the name of it in English. I could be wrong, but that was changed. Before it was just disable damage, and now it's you get dodge. So they did change that for JP. It did carry over to global, so don't worry about that. But yeah, so for those who don't have Necklace of Fate, you could get it again. They could just make another item entirely, which wouldn't really be bad, but do expect her and Yugata Marileona to get buffed soon. Oh, if anything, within the next 2 months, I want to say. Yeah, within the next 2 months. So, solid HP, good attack. Defense is looking better on these units. Decent speed, great intelligence. So, and attack to enemies within range, and then lowers attack and defense. So that's nice. You lower attack, you lower defense. Enemy does less damage, and they take more damage. You love to see it. For a short time, increased defense of AOM participants. Once again, back in the day, this would be a good leader skill to use if you didn't want to use crit. / if you actually wanted to play, well, you had to play through the event because we didn't have skip tickets back then, I believe. So you had to play through the events, believe it or not. So that was solid. Low chance to apply stop effect, good effect. An attack to one enemy plus low chance to apply sleep. Then attack to enemy in range, low chance to apply sleep. So if you ever think about building a Dorothy / Revy team, she is the go-to girl. Especially after she gets her inevitable buff, which I expect this to go to at least a medium chance, this to go to a medium chance, and this to go to a medium chance. Post-stat buffs, potentially 5,000, 650 or 700 attack. That should be at least 300 defense. Probably 250 speed, and then potentially 450 to 500 intelligence, so she'll be really solid. This will probably be greatly lower attack and defense to enemies, which will be fine. They won't change the AOM. But yeah, she looks she looks okay. You know, she's not that good, she's not that bad. She's just kind of middle of the road. So now we will move over to tier 2, sorry, which is just Halloween Yami. So, nice attack. Well, nice HP, nice attack, solid defense, solid speed, solid int. So, I remember when we got the V jump for him, and it was just, he's a counter healer. Not a counter healer, but he counters enemies' healers. And that is displayed by, his AOM having good range, and then a high chance to delay recovery, so relevant in PvP. Some enemies in tower actually do heal, so that will help stop them from healing. And I know, whatchamacallit? I need to add a space here, but Spirit of Zephyr's event, the last stage where you farm the crest, the enemy there does heal. So I know it's not really relevant for global, but for JP, if you did have him, which I don't think most people did, I think a fair amount of people either continued with the game from start or joined during Black Divider Rasta. So most people probably won't have him. / unless you whale on the game or you're trying to collect every character, then you would have him. But helpful for that. He absorbs the speed of AOM participants and gives HP in return, so kind of meh. For a long time, high chance to delay recovery techniques of enemy and greatly lower intelligence. So that's good. Stops healers just in their tracks. They get low healing if they do heal. And attack to one enemy, and then attack to one enemy, and high chance to seal technique for a short time. So he is just kind of an anti-healer. His dispatch is kind of decent. But yeah, he's pretty much just an anti-healer unit. His stats pretty much make him above Charlotte and Yukata. Noelle, but he's not really like he's not like tier 1. Like in my opinion, there's a big gap between Witch Queen and Finral and him. And you can't really compare these two. He kind of just does more damage than them because right now damage is kind of the key thing in the game. So now we are going to take a look at post buff Witch Queen. This will be her third buff. Once again, like I said, her, Zora, and Christmas Luck did get buffs before, right when PvP, like 3 weeks into PvP, so now they got the V2 buffed, her and Fauna got buffed, so we're going to take a look at this one because this is the one I'm referring to. So, 3,250 HP, solid, 700 attack. She doesn't really need it, but it's fine. Good meh defense, good speed, and good intelligence. So, for a while on global, she was probably one of the best buffers. Okay. One of the best jammers in the game. Well, top 2 at least. To this day, she's solid, but again, other units are better. And if you're thinking, okay, why is she so good? It's literally because she lowers essentially every stat. So, for a long time, she can prevent allies from enemies from moving. And then seal secret gauge. So, if you know Zora, that's nice. Enemies do have a chance to resist it, so that's kind of the sucky thing about it. Most cases than not, enemies will resist this, so it kind of sucks, but the enemies that don't, it will be very nice and very effective. So, absorbs HP of AoE participants and gives self-armor. You're never going to use that. Now, the big things in her kit is that she lowers crit chance and speed of all enemies in range. This is just the counter Leo, counter Yukata Marileona, counter Magna, counter New Year's Yami, counter normal Marileona. She just counters the speed gain. She counters the crit rate. That also applies to she can do a lot with that one skill. So greatly decreased crit rate if you have, once again, like I said, it just counters a lot of the other units that buff crit rate. I got pinged a while ago. Okay. Recover HP of one enemy. It's a solid heal. In the earlier stages, then you could really just use her as a healer just because she brought more to the table than a healer. Like even back here, she just brought more to the table. Even though it was a single target heal, she could also decrease their crit rate and speed. And her last skill, decrease attack, defense, and intelligence of one enemy. So, overall, she increases attack, defense, speed, crit rate, and intelligence. That's the biggest things in the game right now. In all honesty, that's the biggest things in the game in general. So, she can't really shut down a character, but she can somewhat shut down characters. So, it's kind of insane. And this lasts for a long time, as well as the first one. So, she's really solid. You won't see her anymore now because I do believe after they buff units, they're just gonna keep buffing them. So she probably won't ever get a 7-star. If she does, I'll be very surprised, but I really don't think so. So now we can move on to Jammer Finral, who's really solid. So somewhat of a watered down version of what's his face? White Day Finral, essentially. He can move enemies to the front space and then greatly lower their attack and speed, which is really nice. AOM, the more AOM participants, the greater the speed boost they get, so that's nice. For a very long time, increase the crit rate and speed of one ally. That's pretty nice. Move enemies to the front and a high chance to lower their crit rate and speed, so increase crit rate and speed, take away crit rate and speed, lower the attack power and speed. Pretty good. He shuts down the 3 main things for an attacker: attack, speed, and crit rate. So, really nice. Then for a long time, he can give 2 actions to an ally and disable damage dealing attacks other than secrets. So, this in tandem with Defender Julius is actually really good. So he gives Defender Julius 2 actions plus disables damaging attacks other than secret arts. Those 2 actions Julius has can, I wasn't gonna say stack, but Julius can in turn give him one of his actions because Julius does give an ally an act. That might be the null one. Ooh, I'm getting my information mixed up. Wrong thing. Okay, I'm sorry. Defender. New tab. I think he gives... No, he doesn't. Okay, I was thinking of null Julius. That is on me. But he can give actions to Defender Julius. Defender Julius can in turn get his invincibility a bit faster, and everything becomes a lot more easier to deal with. Thanks to that. Only kind of... There's not really a bad part about him, in all honesty. Only quote-unquote bad part, I'd say, is that this is only single target, but even then, if it goes to an ally like Black Divider, you're set up. Because he is the best unit in the game right now, so... Black Divider increases his own attack with his skill 2. You further increase his crit rate and speed, so he just becomes a monster. More of a monster than he already is. Stat-wise, he has good HP, good attack. Could use some work on defense, but speed and intelligence are fine. When it comes down to like a 7-star buff for him, potentially, it's possible, since, you know, units earlier than him did get a buff, kind of leaning towards Defender Fuegoleon. Well, Salamander Fuegoleon for that one, but I still do think the first jammer spot will go to Sakurai, so first 7-star jammer will go to Sakurai. So now we can move up to tier 0. He's been tier 0 for a very long time. He's just that good. He is starting to lose some value to an extent, but that's nothing another buff won't fix. So, Fool's Bell, Bull, Wildcat, you get that from Yami. You get this from Luck, regular Luck. You don't really want to use this accessory. But solid HP, solid attack. Could use some work on defense and speed, and then solid intelligence. So it's just an attack. His special arcane arts is just an attack to enemies within range. Good skill. Prevent mass movement of AOM participants. This is AOM, so good versus any type of Finral, good versus Voltos, good versus Raya, good versus Devil. So stop yourself from being moved will always somewhat, not always be relevant, but it's decent. You won't use them as an AOM leader because crit's just broken right now, and it will forever stay broken unless they somewhat nerf it, but yeah. Grant a paralyzed trap, and then, you know, after a while when it's activated when, you know, an enemy moves or formation swaps, it activates. So trap was a new mechanic they brought into the game. It was very nice, very good. So traps essentially just activate, like I said before, if the timer runs out or the enemy moves. So, you know, stunning them is very good. Number 2, landmines. In this case, it deals damage to enemies. You know, works the same as trap. If the timer runs out, then they go off. If the enemy moves, then it goes off as well. And then for a while, prevent an ally from being attacked, plus deal damage to the enemy for that attack. So he kind of essentially gives counterattack to an ally. So that is very nice. He's just pretty good. He's just all around a good unit. I remember people loved him in Global. People loved him in JP. Him and Null Julius were mainly used as a kind of stun combo. Mainly because you set up the trap, Julius can stun them, and then by the time the stun from Julius goes away, this trap should go off, and then they get stunned again. So this was a pretty good combo in PvP too. You just, again, stun lock. I don't know how people think of these things, but they just work out for the most part. And now we have the newest, quote-unquote newest. I think we should be getting a new Defense Quest soon. Newest of the Defense Quest series. Reincarnation Dorothy slash Revy slash Elf Dorothy, whatever you want to call her. So, solid HP. Yeah, solid HP. Good attack. You know, as always, most units can use some help on the defense area. Good speed, good intelligence. That never changes. So, we finally have the Peacock formation. It's nice. Her magic hat equipment is fairly good. Sun V2, Awakened Lich, who should be coming back relatively soon, in all honesty, on Phantom Fest. So, Arcane Art. Maximum attack to enemies within range, plus lower defense. If the enemy is asleep, guaranteed critical damage. So, very good unit, very good Arcane Art, in all honesty. I think a lot of people did like that it did have continuity for having, not really continuity, but it did align with the anime for having some type of advantage versus sleeping enemies, so that is very nice. As you know, Dorothy has the same thing. Now, Arcane Art for a short time. Arcane, okay. AoE participants attack have a low chance of applying sleep for a short time. If you saw the showcase, then you saw that this was kind of meh, in all honesty. When you activate the AOM, you can get the sleep procs, and then it stays on the ally a bit afterwards. But for the most part, you really won't get them to sleep, if you want to take full advantage of her, you kind of have to use that sleep team, as well as like save your AOM for your Arcane Art for when an enemy is sleeping. So she's held to fight, but fun to use. That's the only way I'll put it. Powerful attack to one enemy plus high chance of applying sleep. Solid skill. It goes well with her guaranteed critical damage. That's about it. For a short time, greatly reduced attack power, which is very nice, and then release buff state. I honestly forgot how this interacts with invincibility. I do know that Black Asta and Yami, they can take. Sorry, my throat's kind of dry, but they can take invincibility from like Black Asta, Black Divider Asta, things of that nature, because they can pilfer / steal buffs. If you release a buff state, I'm not sure how that works. I think that might have priority over invincibility. So if it does, then really strong. If it doesn't, then it's still okay. Well, actually, no, it's still good because you can take away attack buffs, you can take speed buffs, and greatly reduce attack. So that is good. And lastly, for a short time, moderate chance to apply sleep to all enemies within range. So if you fought her Wizard King level, you already know the pain of this and the pain of that. Sadly, I kind of wish she was more like I kind of wish using her felt more like using the Wizard King level version, but that version is on steroids and it's unfun. So you can just have use her with Black Bull V2 and whatever first formation you want to use. Use the first formation. If all enemies fall asleep, you can swap to Black Bulls without needing to get critical. Then do the Arcane Arts / if you have an attack buffer, that will work, and then you get the attack buff and then critical damage while lowering defense. So really solid unit. She's not bad. She's really good. I still forgot to add a background to this, but she mainly does need just kind of the support. Well, she actually doesn't, right? Because she can put enemies to sleep on her own. It's solid. PvP, it will be nice, except if you fight a Dorothy, then she has like triple resistance to sleep. So now we are at the Arcane tier jammer. I almost said attacker. And this also marks off us just needing to do the healer tier list, which will be the shortest tier list of them all. So stay tuned for that one. But William and Julius. So they give Golden Dawn V2, which increases red drops. It's kind of redundant because, you know, you already get buffed to red drops from this. So very meh. Scales formation. Another solid formation. Gives you continuous HP recovery, but honestly, it's not much. So they have great HP, good attack, meh defense, low speed, and then good intelligence. So what makes them Arcane tier? It's just because most tag units are extremely powerful for one reason or another. So, for a long time, high chance to apply stop to enemies in range plus delay enhancement techniques. This skill is beautiful. So even not in PvP, Tower of Dreams, for example, if you fight an enemy with a broom, because I know they're a menace to society, them and the moths are the two most annoying things to fight in Tower. Ooh, it's very annoying fighting them. But for a long time, for this will be the end part of the skill will be very good against them. So they tend to like to buff their allies' crit rate, I believe. Well, at least they buff their speed and I believe attack. So being able to say delay that is really nice, and also being able to say stop that is very good. So it's a very, very good attack. It has solid range, same range as Valkyrie. No, Valkyrie dress is to the right. Well, up. But regardless, very good range. The tag attack. Attack to one enemy plus high chance to apply stop. Very good. They kind of abuse stop because Julius is in the card, so they do some shenanigans with Julius. AOM, they give their arcane art gauge to other allies. I don't know. This game just really needs just events where you can utilize things outside of crit. So, if there were an event where you're forced to not, where you can't use a crit lead, I flubbed that for some reason. But if this game does end up having like, let's just call it like Royal Knight Trials, like that would be an interesting name for a game mode. Or Dark Palace or Dark Castle, I believe, like a Dark Castle trial. I think it would be interesting to where you can only use a unit once, and then after that you can't use a unit anymore. So, kind of like an Extreme Tower of Dreams. I think that would be pretty good. So, so people get a lot of chances to use other units outside of the top tier ones. So next up we have skill 1. I'm dying slowly. Okay, so medium chance to cancel enemy buff and transfer it to self. Please stop dying, self. This is very good. Just take the buff of tower enemies, take the buff from Black Divider, take the buff from anyone you want. In all honesty, use it for yourself. And then skill 2 is a powerful multi-hit attack to one enemy. Multi-hit attacks, I love them. They're solid. If the attack crits, it can crit on all the multi hits, all the hits on the multi attack. So it's really solid. If you're buffed with some type of status ailment, so if they have a chance to apply like sleep with this ability or stun with this ability, even better. So if they have a chance to apply stun, then each attack could proc the stun, which is extremely nice. Sadly, there's no ally that you can give stun like that to, but in the future there might, so that's always a possibility. Then for the last skill, for a very long time, great delay to attack techniques. So stops enemies from attacking more often, very viable in tower, good for PvP, good for events, just solid all around. So even though they aren't really made to do that much damage, which is kind of clear, their disruption is really good thanks to the 500 intelligence and the fact that says stop/delay, this says stop, this says transfer, and then this says delay. So delays are actually really good. Stop them from doing what the unit does for a while. Yeah, it's just all around pretty solid. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that juicy YouTube stuff. And as always, thank you guys. We're slowly working on our way to 800. So I really can't wait till we get there. Then we just have the last 2 quote-unquote humps to get over 900. Then finally we're at 1,000 subs. That's kind of the dream, the goal. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Once again, if you're interested in more Black Clover content, please check out the description below for other fantastic content creators. They're all a part of the family. They're all a part of the friend group. You know, we're trying to expand. We're trying to grow. And, you know, once again, thank you guys. Once again, the update is this Thursday. And please do make sure you guys have tried your best in tower. I personally wouldn't reset until like the last day, in all honesty. And then good luck for Veto, because I know some people have been struggling. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when we will do our first ever live stream with Tower of Dreams. So I'll catch you guys then. Peace.